Hi everyone, Misilla here, Learn to Grow. I hope that you guys are having a great week, trying to stay in the shade here. So today I'm going to harvest the rest of the garlic. I've been harvesting them in the past couple of weeks, so we have a few left. And how to tell when garlic is ready for harvesting is when at least a third of the leaves are light brown or tan. So generally it takes about 7 to 9 months for garlic to mature, and they are generally planted in the fall, a few weeks before your first frost date. We generally plant ours in October and harvest in July, sometimes August, depending on how the weather is and depending on how fast they grow and where you plant them. They can thrive in part shade, but it's always best to plant them in full sun if you can. So let's go ahead and get harvesting. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest these two first so we can compare the bulbs, because I left the scape on one of them. So what I usually do is loosen up the soil and then I pull up the garlic. So this is the one with a scape. And I keep it about 4 inches away from the actual stalk, so that way we don't damage the bulb and not get too close to it. So just loosen it up and lift it up, just like that. And if your soil is very loose and loamy, you can probably just pull them out. So let's see if there's a difference. So slightly. Now it also depends on how big the cloves were. I usually try to plant the bigger cloves. So this is the one with a scape still attached, and this is the one that I removed the scape from. So these three are slightly larger than this one. So it really does have an effect when you remove the scape, so that way the energy focuses on producing robust garlic bulbs. This one is an elephant garlic, and you can tell because it has the corms growing on the roots, and we'll get more into detail with that after I harvest. Oh, that is a nice one. Look how big this one is. Beautiful. So the thing with garlic is if you wait a little too long to harvest, they start splitting. And you can tell this has been ready for a while because all the leaves are tan or light brown. So this should have been harvested maybe about a week or two ago. So I got the garlic harvested on the back side. I've got one more garden box to harvest from over this way. There's a couple of garden boxes that I already harvested from in the past week or so. So there's a few more over here that we'll go ahead and dig up. Beautiful. Smells so good, guys. So here's our garlic harvest this year. So I initially planted around 100 cloves, but sometimes the cloves can rot, especially if you're in a climate where you get a lot of rain, and we do get that a lot, especially in the fall time. But still a good turnout. There's at least 80 garlic bulbs in here, and some of them are just beautiful and big. So I'll give you a closer look here. Look how beautiful they turned out, and some of these are really big. Look at that. So these are the music garlic, I believe. Some of them are the Italian purple stripe garlic, and some of them are kind of small, but that's okay. So when you're planting garlic, especially if you're planning on planting them this fall, make sure to select the bigger cloves. The cloves will be like a clone of your garlic crop. So the bigger the cloves, the bigger garlic bulb you will get, and the cloves that will grow are will be similar to the size of the cloves that you planted. So try to select the bigger cloves and use the small ones for cooking. Now let's talk about elephant garlic. So when you grow elephant garlic, you might see these corms that grow on the roots. Sometimes they will grow them, sometimes they won't. But these are like the seeds of the elephant garlic, and you can plant these. So the first season you plant these little corms and they look like tiny cloves. The following summer, you will be harvesting something like this, an immature elephant garlic that resembles an onion. Now, when you plant these that fall, or actually for me, it will be this fall. If I plant these this fall, I'll be harvesting a mature elephant garlic next season. So it takes 2 whole seasons if you grow them from corms to get to this mature bulb. So now the next step is drying and curing your garlic. So what you want to do is lay them on a single layer in the shade. You don't want to put them in direct sun because the sun can alter the flavor and the beneficial constituents of the garlic bulb. So you want to find a shady spot, make sure it's a dry, shady area. You can lay them on top of a cardboard. Again, single layer. You want to allow enough air circulation in there. And after about 2 weeks, you can start cleaning them up with a brush, like a soft brush, maybe a toothbrush. I just use my hands. I just kind of rub off the dirt gently and the outer skins if they are dirty, and then they're ready for storage. So stay tuned. In a couple of weeks or so, I will do a demo on that and how I store them. Thanks for joining me today, everyone, and let me know if you grew any garlic this season. We'd love to know what kind of varieties that you are growing. I mainly grow hardneck here in the Pacific Northwest because they do well for me. So leave a comment down below, and thank you so much for joining me again. Have a wonderful evening and happy gardening.